echo what Jory and Matt said. I had a chance to speak to Brian yesterday while he was still in the hospital, so obviously really encouraging news that he's out today, and just extend our men's basketball thoughts and prayers to him and his family. And he's just become a fixture around the practice and obviously at games. And certainly as you go into this time of year playing the Dakota schools and in the Summer League tournament, we're going to miss him, but I know he'll be back and keep fighting. The bye week for us couldn't have come, just again to echo what Jory said, it couldn't have come at a better time. There was certainly some physical health things that, this time of year that we were battling and working through, but also too, just mentally to refresh and get away from each other. It's a family, and you love each other and all this, but you're together. Literally this time of year, I see our guys more than I see, my wife and kids too. And so just a break to get out of the monotony of the routine as well. And you search for that routine a lot, but at times that monotony can weigh on you too. And so just excited to get back and get after it this weekend. In big games, but also some other things that we're really excited about too. Friday night, we're going to present a check to the Boys and Girls Club of the Red River Valley. And of all the things that we're proud of, that stands, really close to or right there at the top, just meaning from a chance to say that we are making an impact. We're not just talking about things. Our guys are walking, and just really proud of how that went, and our guys continuing to represent themselves in so many positive ways. And then, believe it or not, Saturday becomes senior day already. And it's crazy to think we're sitting here in February, and this is our last home weekend of the year. And, I talked about it a little bit on the radio last night with Jeff, but Tyler Witz will go down as probably one of the ultimate teammates that I've ever been a part of. You've seen, his role has obviously diminished a little bit this year, or quite a bit. It hasn't changed who he is as a person. Just really welcomed and endeared by our guys in so many ways. Wes and I were talking about this, last week, where he literally committed to us in late May, turns around and here is in June as part of a Summer League championship team, and is just continuing to entrench himself and leave a legacy, leave this place better than he found it, and a young man that's going to be successful in life at a lot of levels, and just happy to have been associated with him the last couple of years. As far as the game, it's a big game because it's the next game for us. I know our guys, like Jory said, again, we had great energy yesterday. We'll assume it'll be right there. We're closer to that version of ourselves health-wise. Malik's back into a better rhythm. Bowden's been practicing. This will be his first extended practice today, so we'll see how that goes before we make an ultimate decision for Friday. But again, fun time of year and excited to be in the mix. We've had some preliminary conversations, and all indications at this point are that. But like anybody, we'll evaluate everybody's happiness at the end of the season.
Dave, is it hard to gauge what South Dakota State team you're going to see this weekend? Friedell's played, he hasn't played. They've just been, some days they've been great, some days they've been not so great.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting perspective and something that we've talked about as a staff too. And you even go back to the first time we played them, Wilson did not play. And then, Friedell played a half the other night and didn't play at all. And they play like this one game, and then they play like this a different game. So, but again, we prepare ultimately to be a better version of us. And I think when you're playing against upper echelon teams, we just got to be that best version of us and not really get too concerned about who they are.
For all of that, you do have the benefit of having played these last two teams already this season, a benefit you haven't had throughout this season. What do you take from those first teams, just in how much your team has developed and grown since that first time you guys played down in Sioux Falls for that opening tournament?
Yeah, that I can tolerate watching us now. That was a great tournament. It was exactly where we needed to be, but we've come a long ways. And like you'd expect, there's a lot of guys in some different roles and some from freshmen playing, for the first time. And you can throw those in, which obviously the South Dakota State one I have this week, and you can see the growth, which is exciting. But you also know too that they've gotten better as well, and so we need to continue to be better. There's certainly some things that we can learn from that game, but like I just said, there's been different guys in and out of them, and that's why it's so important for us to focus on us.
It's senior day, as you said, on Saturday, which is shocking, but it's also going to round out the end of the home schedule for you guys here. Weren't sure you were going to be able to have fans this year, weren't sure there was ever going to be a season. Can you just take a second and preemptively reflect on being able to make this crazy adventure happen this year?
Yeah, it has certainly been crazy, Beth, in so many ways, shapes, and forms. And I'm gonna be honest with everybody. There was a point late October, early November. I wondered what we were doing. How we were going to pull this off, why we were even trying to pull this off, and then we settled into the rhythm and routine and got to the point where don't take this away from us. And we ultimately have put ourselves in terrific position. Some of it is dumb luck, because Matt talked about it. You can do all the things right on your end, and then you're at the mercy of some other programs too. But in talking to our guys, and that's obviously the biggest reason why I do this, that there's a lot of things that we can't do right now, but basketball is one of them, and it's bringing a lot of joy to us and more importantly to some other people where you can turn on the TV. In our case, you can come and sit in the stands and watch it and enjoy it, and it has been. It's crazy to think that we're almost a year away from when this first hit, and to be back and doing it to some level of normalcy. It's been a lot of fun. I think we talked a little bit about that the other day. We don't ever put any indications on, how we're going to measure up. We're just trying to get better every day. Some guys have settled into some roles maybe a little bit sooner than we anticipated. There's some freshmen that have helped us in some significant ways, but also see a lot of growth, too, that we still need to do to finish this off the right way.
Last time you played how you had Wilson, how much do you look back at that game and the success of that?
The last time we played them, yeah, I still didn't think, they didn't play without Wilson, and it just wasn't one of our better games. It was kind of a game that we limped to the finish line and we're able to get it too. But, you can it feels like, when we're playing Oral Roberts or we're playing South Dakota, you're playing North Dakota, we're playing South Dakota State, we're a rivalry with everybody. And so you just know it's going to be a good game. They're well coached, they're very talented, and our kids, like I said, the bye came at a good time. I know our guys are going to be excited to compete against whoever it is.
In that first Oral Roberts game, you guys went cold there at the end of the first half and then picked it up in the second. You dropped the Saturday one. How do you make sure the offense just comes out?
Offense is going to come and go. That's the nature of college basketball. What I was disappointed in on Saturday is the second half defensively. We scored 47 points, and that should be plenty to win, but we didn't get stops. They scored 46 points. And the identity of this team with where we're at offensively is to be elite defensively, and we're doing an outstanding job on the glass. We've got to keep that up. And we turned it over a couple too many times in the first half that couple Saturdays ago, but very disappointed in who we were defensively, and that needs to be our identity. That's where we need to be a better version of ourselves this weekend.
Where does South Dakota State potentially stress you guys defensively?
Well, I think they stress you in a lot of ways. I mean, they've got two post players that, shoot high percentage shots, and then they've got some guys. I think Alex Arians and Baylor Shireman are two guys that just are very, and I mean this as a compliment, are very unassuming in a lot of ways. And then you look at a box score and they're just stuffing it. Those two are really, really good players. And with or without Friedel, you could see them, Saturday, they light up 90-95 at Oral Roberts. I think that was Sunday's game. So they stress you in a lot of ways. I think they're really, really good in transition. They push with the pass. They're going to get some early paint touches with Wilson, or they're trying to. Because of Shireman and Arian's smarts, they play well off the ball screens, and then Wilson again and Dentlinger are good on the backboards too. And so, the beauty of it is what we do in June is the same thing we're going to be teeing it up and doing this weekend, and that's, guarding the ball, guarding ball screens, getting back in conversion and finishing possessions.